Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video I'm doing. Hope you guys are enjoying my uploads, and let's get right into the video. I want to talk about what I think will happen in episode 3 and 4 of The Walking Dead, the final season, and whether or not we get those episodes. Now, to answer a question I did 2 videos ago, was do I think Telltale will get it finished? My final answer is yes, I do think Telltale will get episode 3 and 4 out, although I do think they'll be delayed. If they can get episode 3 out on November 6th, I'll be fucking shocked, and I mean Telltale is some machine, but my predictions are basically going to be as follows. I think episode 3 will pretty much start off and we are going to be interrogating Abel. And I think at the end of the interrogation they might give us a few options. 1 is keep him alive. 2 is kill him yourself. Or 3 is let AJ kill him, because remember AJ he is very keen on killing Abel, so I think that's what's going to happen to Abel, and after that Abel will pretty much become permanent after that. I think they're going to try to head back to the Delta where Lily is, and at that point you are going to be trying to save Omar, Asim, and either Violet or Lewis. Now in my playthrough, Violet was kidnapped as I saved Lewis. Now the reason I saved Lewis was because I spent all my time with Violet. I thought the least I could do for Lewis is at least save him. So I thought, there you go. And by the way, if you're wondering whether or not I friend-zoned Violet, I did. Because to be honest, I'm not going to have Clementine get with either Lewis or Violet. Personally, I kind of want her to just be on her own, just taking care of AJ. That's just personally how I want the character to be. If you want her to be with Violet, fine. If you want her to be with Lewis, fine. They're both really good characters. I'm just happy with Clementine kind of just thinking about AJ. I mean, if they're going to, I mean, maybe I'll have her get with James if they give me the option, because I do really like James. I just think Clementine with a whisperer, that's kind of another cool parallel to Carl, because Carl's with a whisperer as well from the comic book. So hey, there is that, I just realized. Anyway, so I think there's no one in hell Telltale are going to let us get Asim, Omar, and Lewis or Violet back. I think chances are one of them is going to die. I don't think it'll be Omar, because I think he's too easy of a character to kill off, just because we haven't really gotten any time to know him yet. So chances are Telltale are going to want to hit us where it hurts, and they might kill off Asim because we at least know Asim a bit, and we've, you know, had some interaction with him. I mean, we had, I think, like 1 interaction with Omar in episode 1, but for the most part he has been a pretty background character, but Asim has been more of a foreground character, and I think Asim would be a crazy character for them to kill. Or hell, if they even made it determinant to where you can either get Asim to live or Omar to live. Now personally, I think if they really wanted to make choice matter, and I think a cool thing would be if you can get everyone out of there alive, I think that'd be pretty fucking awesome. Now as for James, I think Clementine will probably get help from James, and he might even bring a bunch of walkers to help you out when you're at the Delta fighting Lily. Now in terms of death predictions for episode 3, yeah, chances are they're going to kill off some characters. Has there ever been an episode of Telltale Walking Dead where they didn't kill off someone? So I'm actually going to think. Let's all think together. No, I think in pretty much every episode someone dies. You don't believe me, Joe? I'm going to go over this quick because you probably don't want to hear this. But episode 1, either Doug or Carly. Episode 2, Mark and Larry. Episode 3, either Doug or Carly, whoever survived in episode 1, and Katja and Duck. Episode 4, Chuck. Episode 5, Lee. 400 Days, D. Season 2, episode 1, Omid. Season 2, episode 2, Pete. Although he could also die in episode 1, but in terms of a character that dies no matter what in episode 2, Walter and Matthew. They die no matter what in episode 2. Episode 3, Reggie. Episode 4, Rebecca dies. She becomes a walker in that episode, but she does die. Episode 5, Luke. Michonne. Episode 1, Greg. Episode 2, John. Episode 3 of the Michonne miniseries, Norma dies. And Bertel. Season 3, episode 1, Mariana. Episode 2, Comrade can die in that episode, but you can save him. Does anyone die in episode 2? Francine. Episode 3, episode 3. No, I don't think. I mean, Conrad can die in that episode as well, but well, Badger dies in episode 3, like no matter what. Yeah, I'm coming back. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say, like, people die at least once in episode. Episode 4, either Trip or Ava. Episode 5, whoever you saved. If you save Trip, he dies in episode 5. If you save Ava, she dies in episode 5. At least one of Javier's family members will die, whether it be David or Kate or Gabe. One of them is going to die. Season 4, episode 1, Brody and Marlon die. And season 2, episode 2, Mitch die. I mean, season 4, episode 2, Mitch dies. So, character dies like every episode. Sorry for taking so long with that, but basically, there's my point. Someone's going to die in episode 3. I will actually save death predictions for after I'm done talking about how I think the whole story is going to end. Because really, I don't have much to go on, because there is so many ways it could go. What if there's other familiar characters at the Delta? What if Krista's at the Delta? She could be. I mean, you may say, well, then why wouldn't Lily bring her up? Lily never met Krista. They never met. I personally, I don't think Krista would join a group like that. But then again, we haven't seen Krista since the beginning of season 2, which took place like 4 years ago. Like, season 4 is like 8 years into the apocalypse, so. And we got separated from Krista like 2 years in. Because remember, season 1 was in the early days. Season 2 started a few months after season 1 ended. Omi died, and then there was the 16-month time skip, and then Krista went missing. So we haven't seen her since like 2 years in. So it's been like 6 years since we've seen Krista. Because personally, I think Krista is one of the biggest question marks on the entire game. And I would like if Telltale resolved that in some form or fashion. I'm glad they resolved Lily, because Lily was... Personally, I've been... Like, Lily and Krista were like the two biggest characters for me that I was like, okay, what the fuck happened to them? I'll say this about Lily right now. when I played through season 1, I was always nice to her. I got her dad the chocolate bar in episode 1. You know, I tried being as nice as I could to them. Obviously, when Larry was talking about bashing Duck's head in front of Kenny, obviously I stood up for Kenny and said I was going to kick your ass. Plus, like, come on, Larry was such a punchable bastard, so he was. Come on, like. Anyway, in episode 2, when they gave me the option to either let Kenny smash Larry's head in or not, I tried helping Larry. I was usually always nice to Lily. I trusted her by telling her that I was a criminal. You know, by the time I even let her stay with me after she shot Carly. Yeah, I saved Carly. So I was always nice to her. Like, even when I met Lily in the game, she said Lee was always nice to me even after I shot Carly. Well, you know, she doesn't say Carly, she just says that girl. It's funny, Lily's like, do you remember me, Clem? And then Clem, like, we remember more than you do, clearly, bitch. Anyway, Lily pissed me off the whole episode, killing Mitch. Now, I know Mitch was a bit of an asshole, but, like, he didn't fucking deserve to die. I think anyone that thinks he deserved to die over that, really, like, really, that's all I gotta say to you. Look, if you want to die, fine, but I think there should have at least been an option to keep him alive, so. Hopefully we can kill a few of Lily's people in the next episode, because really all we got to kill was, I forget the guy's name, but you can drop the pile of bricks on him, and I'm guessing you can also kill him by the logs, because I think he dies no matter what. Now, personally, I went with a Sims plan of using the bricks, but I think the brick looked. I really need to look up how he dies by the logs, because I really want to see what that looks like. Because I've really only seen what my choices. I've seen like a couple other people play, and like all I've seen, the only stuff I've seen from other people that I didn't personally do was kiss Violet, which I didn't do. Really, that's about it. I personally didn't burn Miss Martin, I think that's her name. I buried her with Ruby. You know, I did like all that stuff. I told AJ that what he did was wrong, because personally I feel as though Marilyn really did not need to die. But, you know, AJ is a good kid. So yes, I like AJ. Probably one of my favorite characters in the game series. I think AJ is pretty good. Now, I know people have like a very hate relationship with kids in The Walking Dead, and it's understandable why. I mean, like, there's a lot of annoying kids in the Walking Dead franchise, but I just think AJ is not one of them. I can imagine some people that hate kids, they see that The Walking Dead Season 4 is about kids, they're like, ah, fuck! God damn it! Oh, God. Anyway, man, I really got off track. However, I think, killing that bitch that, you know, you threw the couch on in episode 2, I think killing her would be great. Abel is definitely a character we should be able to kill in episode 3. He just seems like a penultimate kill, you know. He just seems like a character you could kill before the finale. I think Lily is going to be the big one you save for the finale. Now, by the end of the episode, I was trying my fucking hardest to kill Lily. I was like, I don't care that we have history. You talk shit to Lee, which you don't fucking do. I have an unwritten rule, right? That's basically, you cannot say shit about Dave Fennoy. No matter what. You can't say shit about him in real life. You can't say shit about any of the characters he plays. Even when people talk shit about the pigeon catching mission in the Spider-Man game, because Howard, the guy that gives you that mission, is played by Dave Fennoy, I say, you do not give that mission shit, you don't talk shit about Dave Fennoy. Now, obviously, I'm joking, but, like, How can you be angry at Dave Fenoya? Have you not heard his voice? It's majestic. Anyway, so gotta take a drink. My throat's getting dry. Sorry if you guys can hear me gulping. I hate that on YouTube personally, where you hear people eating and drinking. It's just like, just fucking eat off camera, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't think in any fucking form or fashion Lily will die in episode 3. They're holding her off for episode 4. I think it personally would be cool if you could actually keep her alive by episode 4, but the first chance I get to kill her, I will kill her. At this point in time, I am going to kill her. Now, my opinions may change over time, but as soon as she stabbed Mitch in the throat and head, I know she regretted it, but like, and at least she didn't let him become a walker. But I just want to kill her. In fact, when they gave me the option to kill her, and you shoot the arrow at her, and you know she dies, and then someone, I think it's the guy you kill with the bricks, he shoots you and you die. Telltale, I mean, there's no point in telling them to stop this, seeing how they're done as a company, but like, they really need to stop putting that in the games where they give you an option that if you pick it, you die no matter what. It's like, don't give us the choice if you're not going to go through with it. Because they did something like this in the Game of Thrones game as well. If you've played that, there was a choice, and spoiler alert, but there was a choice in the Game of Thrones game where basically you could attack the Whitehill family, and basically every fucking one dies. It's like the Red Wedding, but like everyone, like, I mean, people say everyone dies in the Red Wedding, but I mean like everyone fucking dies. You know, it just restarts you, because that's not, you can't actually have that happen. Don't give us that as an option if you're not going to go through with it. I'm just going to say to Telltale. Really, that's all I think will happen in episode 3. I don't think episode 3 is going to go over much more than Clem is going to go back to the Delta. Well, not go back, she hasn't been there before, but she's going to go to the Delta. We're probably going to get a chance to explore that. I think it'd be, personally, things I would like to see is bringing a team, and I think this would add so much replayability. But basically, obviously you're going to be playing as Clementine, you and AJ, and a group of 3 characters you can bring with you to help get your friends out. And you can pick any 3 characters. You can pick Lewis, you can pick Violet, you can pick, I think the kid's name is Willie, you can pick 10, you can pick Ruby, you can pick anyone. And depending on who you can pick like any of those 3, and then the rest of them go and help out the other people. I think that'd be a good way to explore those characters more and kind of get more out of those characters. Plus, then it'll give you a chance to replay. It'll give you more of a reason to replay the episode, because you'd be like, oh, I wonder what happens if I take 10 with me. Oh, I wonder what happens if I take Ruby with me. Or maybe you could just take 1. That'll add even more replayability, because you are going to want to see what it's going to be like with every character. Personally, who would I take with me? If they gave me the option, if I could take one person, is Willie the kid, because he's really the one we've had the least time with that is still in the group at the moment, because Mitch, Marlon, and Brody are dead, and Omar, despite the fact I said I would like more character development from him when I don't think I said that, but I'm saying it now. He's captured, so obviously we can't get that. I mean, unless they said, who do you want to help? Who do you want to save? I'd save Omar, so basically I can give all the characters their time to shine. I think that'd be pretty cool if Telltale allowed us to do all that. So yeah, this wasn't as much predictions. However, in terms of death predictions, yeah, I have a few of those. Not too many. I could imagine this season ending with Clementine dying, AJ dying, hell, even both of them dying. Hell, maybe the season could even end with both of them living. I think, remember what Telltale did with Season 2? Season 2, you could have really ended The Walking Dead right there with Season 2. I mean, there would have been a lot of questions unanswered, but you could have, like, you know, what happened to Chris, what happened to Lily? That stuff you could have done in spin-off games about those characters, or even characters that run into them. Clementine's story, you realistically could have ended right there. But seeing how they brought her back, you know, it kind of made the Season 2 endings not as impactful. You know, people have already said what they had to say about what happened with Kenny, what happened with Jane, what happened with Wellington. You know, it was a pretty, you know, bad move, especially how they, like, the one that pissed a lot of people off was the Kenny one, just because Kenny was the character we've been there with since the beginning, and they kind of just kill his character off like that. And I'm going to get into this topic in the next video, but it's the topic of, well, realistically, some people are just going to die in just very underwhelming ways. I'm going to get into that topic, so if you want to hear me talk about that, watch my next video on where I stand with The Walking Dead and my thoughts. Just basically the video right after this one. So this video is at 20 minutes, so I really want to wrap this up. I think those are the big ones. I think Violet and Lewis, realistically, I think one of them will die in episode 3. I think they're going to make us have a final, you know, say in who lives, who dies, and that's going to be who we're with in episode 4. At this point in time, I couldn't make that choice. Well, I would have to, but, like, I wouldn't know who I would keep alive. I love both those characters. I think Violet and Lewis are really good characters, and I really don't want to see any of them go. But chances are Telltale are going to make us pick, because they like breaking our hearts, don't they? Anyway, they've kind of been hinting at so far this season that AJ is probably going to be what kills Clementine. You know, it happened with Lee. Clementine, you could say, was the cause of Lee dying. It's her that ran off, which made him look for her, which caused him to get bitten by the walker, which caused him to die. You know, that's very arguable, whether or not Clementine really caused him to die. Now, obviously she didn't want him to die, but you could say he was the cause of her dying. I mean, she was the cause of him dying. Something like that could happen with AJ. Some people have said Clementine is going to kill AJ. I think that's pretty fucking unoriginal. The Walking Dead comic did that with Ben and Billy. The Walking Dead TV show did that with Lizzie and Mika. I think that's something that is overdone. To where Clementine just kills AJ. No, I'm not. I mean, I could see them doing that, but I just think that's a very unoriginal, uninspired, very uncreative way of ending the story in a very, very fucking predictable way like that. Like, as soon as episode 1 came out, people were like, "Oh, AJ, Clementine's gonna have to kill AJ at the end of the season. I'm calling it now." Oh Jesus! If I'm right, I fucking knew it, even though why take credit for something that's so fucking obvious? I mean, people have done it in the past, so I guess. I think so anyway. I imagine they would, but I'm not going to call this video predictions of season 4, because this hasn't really been about predictions, more like talking about what I think will, like, what's going on with the rest of the season, and my hopes and stuff for this season. I think it's a fun discussion. I really hope you guys comment down below what you think will happen with the season. Look, if you personally like the idea of Clementine putting AJ down, you know, that's okay with you. Personally, I'm really against that idea. I don't like it. like, it worked with Ben and Billy and it worked with Lizzie and Mika. I just think it's very like overdone, especially in The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead's done it enough. Lizzie and Mika, they get a pass for that because they were adapting Ben and Billy from the comic. They're the TV version of Ben and Billy. So I'll give them a pass with that. Ben and Billy was just such a crazy moment. Personally, what else do I think will happen? Do I think we could get an appearance by Lee? I doubt it. I thought it would be cool to get like a dream, a hallucination of him, you know, something like a last time seeing Lee before the game ends, you know, something like what we got in season 2, at the end of season 2, which was probably the best moment of the entire season, because goddamn did it bring the feels. That's like the first time I ever heard bring the feels. Like, did the feels come from The Walking Dead? I doubt it came from the game, but like, that's like the first time I ever heard people say that, the feels. It's like The Walking Dead game, it brings on the feels. That's the first time I ever heard that used back when that game came out. That was like the first time I ever heard people say the feels. But it fucking certainly does bring on the feels. Like, no matter how many times I see Lee's death, I still get upset watching it, because I just think that's one of the most saddest deaths in the entire, in the history of anything, like in the history of fiction. More than any TV show, movie, video game, comic, novel death, I just think, like, even songs, like look at Stan by Eminem, or, you know, Bad Guy by Eminem, which is like a sequel to Stan, like, you know, songs about, like, songs that tell a story of like a guy that kills himself, basically, you know, like, those are depressing songs. So, you know, but I think Lee is probably up there, if not the saddest that I've ever seen in anything. And mind you, I've seen a lot of sad movies and TV shows and stuff. I've watched Game of Thrones, I've watched Breaking Bad, you know, I've played The Last of Us. You know, it's just it's tough, man. You see all this crazy shit. Anyway, I'm gonna round this video off at like 30 minutes so I can squeeze in a few more things to say. Personally, from an ending, I would like if they gave us a shitload of endings, just so because then there'd most likely be at least one ending people could see that they're like, okay, I'm happy with this. And because I don't think the rest of the game should be very linear. Because I'm going to say this has been my one problem with season 4 so far. And it's not even really a problem, it's just something I've noticed about season 4. Season 4 so far has not really had determinant characters. Now granted, Lewis and Violet are determinant. Either they can be kidnapped or with you, so they can be unknowns or alive. If you go on the wiki page for The Walking Dead, green means you're alive, red means you're dead, grey means you're a walker, blue means you're unknown, and purple means you're determinant. So a multitude of those other colours can happen to you. So I'm wondering, like, is there going to be any characters that can live or die? Because Brody dies no matter what, Marlon dies no matter what, Mitch dies no matter what, that guy you kill that's in Lily's group dies no matter what. I'm just wondering, like, will there, you know, be any determinant character? I can imagine there at least being like 1 or 2 in episode 3, and then maybe they'll have like a shitload of them in episode 4 to finish it out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they end this series, and I thank you guys for watching this very long video. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. Please share what you your predictions. Please comment them down below. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Thank you very much, guys, and goodbye.